Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are really getting into the weeds, looking closely at the source material around the 45th Ryder Cup. It's happening at Bethpage Black in New York.
Yep, matches start Friday the 26th, run through the 28th.
But the action's already started. Practice rounds are going on right now. Our mission is to unpack what it actually takes to stage this thing, the logistics, the money, the sheer mental game involved in this USA versus Europe clash.
And look, just to give you a sense of how intense the prep is getting, it's way beyond just golf swings now. Think about this. Team Europe, knowing how vocal the New York crowd can be.
Vocal is one word for it.
Right. They're actually using virtual reality headsets.
Yeah.
Simulating the noise, the heckling, even specific insults they expect to hear.
Wow, okay. So not just crowd noise, but targeted stuff.
Exactly. We're talking simulated psychological warfare now, basically.
That definitely paints a picture. It's less a simple tournament, more like a huge, complex operation. Let's dig into that first, the sheer scale, financially and physically. Because, all that corporate weight, the logistics, that has to add to the pressure cooker feel, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you just look at the list of worldwide partners. It's a who's who. Aon, BMW, Capgemini, Citi, DP World, Rolex, SAP. It's massive. This isn't just about sticking a logo on a banner.
No, it signals this enormous investment in, absolute precision for the whole event.
Yeah, and that filters right down. You've got Enterprise Mobility just signed on as a worldwide supplier through 2027. That's about moving everyone and everything seamlessly.
Even the grass has sponsors. Heritage Landscape Supply Group for the agronomy side, PBI Gordon helping the grounds crew.
It shows you nothing, absolutely nothing, is left to chance. Every layer has a corporate partner ensuring it runs perfectly.
Which you have to think cranks up the stakes for the players. They're not just playing for their team or country. They're performing on this multi-million-dollar stage where perfection is kind of the expectation.
Totally. But here's the friction point. Even with all that planning, all that money, you've got up to 40,000 fans expected. Every single day.
40,000. Trying to get onto Bethpage Black, that's a lot of people.
And here's the kicker for anyone thinking of going. 0 on-site parking. 0.
Right. So you, the listener, you need to know this, you are completely reliant on shuttle buses. From designated spots like Jones Beach or Farmingdale Station, there's no just rolling up in your car.
Which, as you can imagine, is causing ripples all over Long Island. Hotels, forget it, booked solid. Locals are talking about parking chaos, people renting out their driveways for crazy money, apparently.
So the system's designed to manage the flow, but it demands everyone buy into it, get to the shuttle point, wait, get screened. Gates don't open till 7 a.m. either, and security is tight.
Oh, incredibly tight. The security plan, led by the New York State Police, have been 18 months in the making.
18 months just for security planning.
Yeah. Hundreds of officers, dogs, drones, constant surveillance, and strict rules. Clear bags only. No weapons, obviously. It's a fortress.
You wonder, though, how do they balance that kind of lockdown security with the raw energy that makes the Ryder Cup special?
That's the tightrope walk, isn't it? Meticulous control versus that famous rowdy atmosphere. It creates this really high-tension environment before a ball's even struck in competition.
And then there's the one thing they can't control, the weather. Match days look okay, forecast-wise, like low 20s Celsius.
Yeah, Friday to Sunday looks generally mild, 21 to 24 C, but early this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, there were pretty high rain risks, over 50–60% chance of showers.
So they have plans for that, like if there's a downpour or lightning?
Oh, yeah. Extensive plans, evacuation routes, everything thought out. But think about it. You add the corporate pressure, the travel stress, the intense security, the weather worries. It all just heaps more weight onto the player's shoulders.
Okay, so let's shift focus then, from the operational machine to the actual mental battleground on the course. How are the teams getting ready for Bethpage Black itself, dealing with all that external stuff?
Well, first off, health seems generally good for both teams, which is key. There was that concern earlier in the season about Xander Schaufel's rib injury for Team USA.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
But reports say he's cleared, ready to play. Small details like that, they matter when things are this close.
And the course itself. Bethpage Black is notoriously tough. What's the strategic focus?
Fairways. Everyone agrees. You have to hit the fairways there. It just eats you alive if you're wayward. So Team USA under Captain Keegan Bradley.
Who almost picked himself to play, famously.
Right. They seem to be training very aggressively. Scotty Scheffler apparently spending a ton of time on his putting, knowing those short shots will be critical.
And Team Europe.
They seem to be emphasizing continuity. Trusting the systems, the pairings, the experience they have, maybe a bit less overtly aggressive in their prep talk, more about sticking to the plan.
Which brings us back to that mental side. Bethpage is tough enough without, 40,000 New Yorkers breathing down your neck.
Exactly. And this is where that VR training really stands out. It's not just about getting used to noise.
It's about the type of noise, right? The insults.
Precisely. They're running simulations, apparently, with players hearing specific heckles, chants, and maybe things like the DJ chants, or worse, stuff U.S. fans have used before. Rory McIlroy called it desensitization.
Desensitization, that's the word. Try and take the sting out of it before it happens for real.
Yeah, the theory is if you experience that hostility in a controlled setting, maybe it doesn't rattle you as much when it's live with thousands screaming it.
Did everyone buy into that? Seems a bit out there.
Well, reportedly, John Rahm was initially skeptical, called it pointless or something similar.
Oh, interesting.
But the fact that he is apparently using it now, that tells you how seriously Team Europe is taking the potential impact of the crowd. They know it's going to be intense, and they're trying every possible angle to prepare mentally.
And you mentioned the organizers managing the sound system too, like keeping the volume high.
Yeah, partly for safety announcements, crowd control, but maybe also trying to manage the overall noise level. Ironically, it's this constant balancing act. How much passion is okay? When does it cross into abuse? Team Europe's trying to preemptively manage their reaction to that.
Okay, speaking of passion, let's talk about the fuel for that passion, the general vibe, and maybe the cost of enjoying that vibe.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes. The price of enthusiasm. Let's talk beer.
Right. 40,000 fans a day. It's going to be thirsty work. Sources are estimating, over 10,000 beers consumed daily?
Easily, maybe more. And look, if you're going, brace your wallet. We're hearing prices starting around $15 for a basic Michelob Ultra.
$18. Wow.
Premium stuff, obviously more. So yeah, it's an expensive day out. That contributes to the whole spectacle feel, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Exclusive, high energy, loud.
Definitely adds to the intensity. And the celebrity factor is dialing it up, too. Tiger Woods isn't captaining because of his Achilles surgery.
Right, he declined.
But he's expected to be there, kind of as unofficial advisor for Team USA.
Exactly. And don't underestimate that. Tiger just being there, even if he's not officially in charge, carries huge psychological weight. He embodies that intense American competitiveness. His presence alone shifts the dynamic a bit.
Gives them extra gravitas, maybe?
For sure. But for the pure glitz factor, you had the Celebrity All-Star match on Wednesday. That was the warm-up.
Yeah, I saw some names there. Pau Gasol, the former NBA star Brooklyn Beckham, Catherine Zeta-Jones repping Europe.
Yep. Against Team USA's Eli Manning, Michael Strahan, the NFL guys, and John McEnroe, the tennis legend.
McEnroe at a Ryder Cup event? That feels appropriate somehow.
Doesn't it? It's that perfect mix of sport and entertainment, setting the stage for the real competition.
And that mix really defines the whole New York atmosphere around this thing. The sources picked up some very specific examples of the crowd energy.
Yeah, some telling anecdotes. And just to be clear, we'll report the sources observed here, staying impartial.
Absolutely. So politically, you saw fans wearing Make Golf Great Again caps, bringing that specific energy right onto the course.
And interestingly, when some protesters apparently started shouting, "Boo Trump!" reports say they were quickly drowned out by cheers from other parts of the crowd.
So it's a very vocal, very unified crowd dynamic, ready to control the narrative, or at least the soundscape.
But it's not all serious. There's that New York wit, too, like the prank tea time.
Yeah, tell us about that one.
Apparently, someone announced a fake tea time featuring Tom Brady and a few other big names, sent a whole section of the crowd scrambling, buzzing with excitement, only to realize it was a wind-up.
Classic. That captures that sort of playful chaos perfectly.
Even the players get it. Rory McIlroy was seen laughing at a fan wearing a shirt with his silhouette on it, a kind of visual jab.
So the atmosphere is electric, right? Constantly buzzing, testing that line between fun rivalry and something sharper, which, again, loops right back to why Team Europe is bothering with VR headsets.
Exactly. It all connects. And just quickly, for anyone watching from home, the main event, Friday through Sunday, has wide coverage. U.S. viewers have NBC, USA Network, Golf Channel, Peacock. German viewers have Sky Sports Golf.
Okay, so wrapping this all up. If you boil it down, this 45th Ryder Cup really feels like two things happening at once.
Yeah.
On one hand, this incredibly precise, corporate-funded logistical machine, security plan for 18 months, complex shuttles, everything managed.
And on the other hand,
Deep psychological warfare, players prepping not just their swings but their minds, using VR to handle simulated abuse from those very fans the organizers are trying to manage.
right. The key takeaway for you, the listener, is how tightly linked those things are. The money demands perfection. The crowds create chaos that threatens that perfection, driving teams to extreme mental prep like VR, fueled by, well, $15 beers.
It sets up this fascinating clash, doesn't it? Preparation versus the unpredictable reality.
Exactly. What actually happens when 18 months of security planning, all the organized transport, and especially that hyper-specific VR training, meets the raw, messy, loud reality of Bethpage Black?
Yeah, that's the ultimate test, isn't it? We've dived deep into the prep. Now we see how it holds up. If Europe's training to ignore simulated insults, how does it really work against 40,000 actual New Yorkers full of that expensive enthusiasm? Is there a limit to how much you can desensitize someone when the noise stops being a simulation and becomes, well, a weapon? We start finding out on Friday.